Jai Gurudev, Jai Masters. Most people miss the essence of spirituality. Even in great techniques, and I don't talk against them, they're wonderful and you should use them. Yoga techniques, meditation, mantras, all these things, which are essential, don't get me wrong, they're attempting to raise you above your personal self. Raise you above the mess that you normally live in. The fears, the jealousies, the insecurities, the attempts to be accepted, the wanting people to respect you, whatever you want from life that you think will make you happy, and avoiding what bothers you. That's you. That's your personal self. We call that the personal self. So spiritual techniques are supposed to raise you above your personal self. And so you learn to breathe, you learn to do asanas, you learn to do mantras, you learn to all kinds of things which transfer your consciousness off of, I hope you don't mind if I call it that mess that you normally live in, your natural mess. You do know what I'm talking about. I mean, you do have trouble, don't you? Especially inside. Forget your trouble outside. You only have trouble outside, you have trouble inside. You want things, and you fear things. You want things and you fear things. That pretty much spells it all. Why do you want things? Because you're not okay. Why do you fear things? Because you're not okay. If you're okay, inside, filled with love, filled with joy, filled with well-being, no problems, inside, not outside, inside, then who cares? Life's fun. Problems are like a sport. They're challenges. Why? Who wants to be bored? But that's only if you're okay inside. If you're not okay inside, then you have to try to do things to be okay inside. I don't think anyone would disagree with that, do they? And you're very busy doing things, aren't you? Trying to get and trying to avoid. Trying to get, trying to avoid. Why? Because if what you don't like outside happens, you feel terrible inside. If you like what happens outside, you feel good inside. You're not stupid. Doesn't take much to figure that out, right? There are things outside that make me feel better inside. There are things outside that make me feel worse inside. Have you noticed? And guess what you're doing with your life? Trying to get the ones that make you feel better and trying to avoid the ones that make you feel worse. How's it working out? Someday you're going to find out it doesn't work out. Ever. I mean, temporarily it does. It's like I see it like the hamster on that little spinning wheel inside the cage, running as fast as it can to go where? It's going somewhere, but it's really not getting anywhere. It feels like it is, but it's not fixing what's wrong inside. It's just temporarily compensating for the fact that I'm not okay inside. That true spirituality starts with understanding this is a mess in here. I can run as fast as I can away from it. I can run toward things that make it feel better. I can run away from things that make it a little worse, but I'm running. My mind's spinning 1,000 miles an hour trying to figure out what do I need and how do I get it? What I don't want, how do I avoid it? That's why your mind's so noisy. Because it's trying to do something. It's trying to take care of you. I'm not okay. Help. Help. How do I get him to like me? How do I get him not to go out with somebody else? How do I get him to make sure he calls on time? What do I do if he's 5 minutes late calling? What if she doesn't do this? It's very natural that the mind would be like that. Don't you dare get mad at your mind. Your mind is trying to help you. It doesn't know how to, but it's trying to help you. Every single thing it says is trying to help you. It's trying to figure out, given where it's at now, what it knows, what experience it's had, it's trying to figure out how to make it better. And people get divorced because they're not happy with their marriage, don't they? People run after something, run after gold medals, run after money, run after vacations, run after jobs that turn them on. I'm daring you to be that open. Do you run after jobs that turn you on? Would you like to find a job that makes you passionate? That's not what I want for you. I don't want you to find a job that makes you passionate. I want you to be passionate about every single moment of your life, no matter what's happening. That's spirituality. So, one, you're out there trying to get what you think you need in order to be okay. That's it. What spirituality, true spirituality says is, why am I not okay? Is that really my natural state? What's the natural state of your body? Health. How do I know that? There's this immune system that's in there trying to make it healthy. There's all kinds of organs doing all kinds of things. There's 25 trillion cells inside your body doing every single thing they can to make you healthy. Now, can it be off? Yes, something can go wrong. Something can go wrong with everything. But 99, go check it out. Here's a statistic for you. I haven't really checked it out, but I guarantee it's right. 99.9% of the moments that all bodies exist, they're healthy. Sickness is not the normal thing. Our hospitals are not filled with 8.3 billion people every second. Well, what's happening when they're not sick? They're healthy. They're well. How do they do that? They're amazing things, these bodies. They know how to stay healthy. They're built to stay healthy. They're phenomenal things. If your body, which is the grossest part, I don't mean disgusting by gross, by the way. I just mean matter, made of matter. The grossest part of your being is capable of taking care of itself at that phenomenal level. What about your mind and your emotions, your inner state? That's much higher. That's a much more spiritually elevated state of your being than your physical body. The inner state is way higher. Why is its natural state not okay? If the body's natural state is okay, it has all kinds of systems to make it be okay, doesn't it? Well, why do you think your inner state's natural state is, I'm not okay, I better get to work? Because you're busy all the time, aren't you? Trying to be okay, trying to figure out how to be okay, trying to get what you need and avoid what you don't. I've told you that. Why would that be? It's not. The natural state of your inner being is ecstasy. Ecstasy, not well-being. Complete joy, complete well-being, rushes of Shakti pouring up inside of you, feeding you day and night, no matter what happens outside. No matter what. It doesn't stop. What did Christ say? Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that leaveth the mouth of God. The bread means anything from outside. Any outside input that's coming into you, yes, you can have some food, but you don't live by that alone. There's an inner flow of energy, spirit, Shakti, call it whatever you want. There's an inner flow of energy inside of every single being, no matter what they've ever done. There's nothing that anyone can do that stops their birthright, which is you are a great being inside, you're filled with love, you're filled with energy, you're filled with Shakti, you're filled with God. It's just, you don't believe in God, you experience God. What are your beliefs? Something your mind decides to do. Can you change your beliefs? You ever change your beliefs? Of course you do. And start dating somebody who you love a lot that doesn't believe what you believe. Your beliefs change very quickly. So that's not your relation with God, to believe. You experience this inside of you. It's flowing inside of you, upward, upward. Now your energy goes down. You have to work with it. It starts going up. Well, if that's my natural state, why don't I feel that? That's the right question. Not, I'm not okay, what do I do about it? How do I compensate for it? How do I find someone to make me feel better? I'm lonely, who do I need to hang out with so I feel better? I don't feel I'm pretty or handsome or acceptable. Well, wouldn't it be nice to find someone that really liked me and respected me? And right? Well, man, give me a break. That is accepting the ignorance that I'm not okay inside, that I'm not whole within my own self. And now I have to find something outside to temporarily distract, really. All you're doing with all your relationships, with all your movies, with your entertainment, with your travel, with everything, is trying to distract yourself from yourself. Go to a movie and have it be so non-distracting that you just sit there in a theater next to strangers. You can say, it's terrible, I'm never going to a movie ever again, I don't like it. Now have the movie distract you, where for 2 hours, you don't think one single thing about yourself. It's great. It was a great movie and entertained me completely. Yeah, because you didn't have to listen to yourself. So everything you're trying to do is distract you from the fact that you're not okay. That is not spirituality. And it's okay. Like I said, don't listen to me. You go about your business. They teach you how to win friends and influence people. And they say that's spiritual. No, why do you need to win friends and influence people? That's a drag, man. Have you tried it yet? It's hard. And then you got to keep them. That's really a tough thing to do, right? What's wrong with understanding that there's a reason you're not experiencing the joy? There's something wrong. Not I need something out. There's nothing wrong outside. there's something wrong inside. And by the way, you say, but there's so much wrong outside. No, if every single person was filled with love and ecstasy, let's see what the world would look like. We wouldn't need 10 commandments, because they wouldn't be doing the junk. They're not killing each other, stealing each other's houses, and doing all kinds of stuff. I told you, the 10 commandments are very... I'm embarrassed that that's what God thinks of us. Don't kill each other. Don't covet each other's spouses. Don't steal. Don't lie. Oh my God. Why don't you say, be in ecstasy? Why don't you say something nice to us, right? Because we're a mess. The 10 Commandments is pretty lowly stuff, isn't it? We can do better than that. We can do better. The problem is if you're not okay inside, if you're suffering. That's what Buddha said. First noble truth, all of life is suffering. Well, that's pretty negative. All life is suffering. Well, we need positive thinking. Why do you need positive thinking? Because it's suffering. That's why you need positive thinking, because it's not so positive in there. I want to talk about real spirituality. Real spirituality is understanding, not I need to attract to myself things that will make me feel better, and nothing wrong with those things, right? Not that I need a relationship so that I feel needed and important and so on. No, there's nothing wrong with relationships. Here's a good relationship. I am filled with ecstasy. You want some? I'm filled with love. You want to share? If you don't, fine. You do, fine. Hi, because I'm fine. There, that's a very nice relationship. It's not one of taking. It's one of giving. What we want from relationships is taking. Be the way I want you to be. Behave the way I want you to say what I want you to say when I want you to say it. Don't say what I want you to say when I can't believe you said that. I thought you'd love me. I can't believe you said. I'm trying to have a relationship with myself, not with you. You're supposed to be the way I need you to be so that I'm okay. Which relationship did you want to get into that wasn't like that? You're supposed to be the way I need you to be so that I'm okay. If you're not being the way I need you to be so I'm okay, why am I hanging out here? Why are you being so quiet? Is that not what you mean by a relationship? Yes. It's supposed to make you happy. It's supposed to make you feel love, because you don't. And that person better get with the program or we're out of here. All of it is predicated upon the fact that my state is not okay. I don't even think about it. Of course it's not okay. I've been in here the whole time. It's not been okay the whole time. So of course it's not okay. That's like saying my body was meant to be sick. It's sick all the time. I better go out and do things all the time, to try and make it feel better. Well, that's not how you look at your body. The minute your body does something wrong, you go to a doctor. You say something's wrong, fix it. Because you know it's supposed to be healthy. That's not always that way. There are exceptions, but I'm telling you, compared to all the human beings in every moment they live, those exceptions are 0.001%. So your natural inner state is beautiful. Then you get to spirituality. If that's true, if it's true that I don't have to be out there fighting and manipulating and trying to get and avoid and struggling all the time, that's not what's supposed to be happening. That is not what's supposed to be happening. In fact, it's really beautiful in the Bible, the fall from the garden. By the way, what's meant by the fall from the garden is you were in ecstasy all the time, no matter what. You fell into this. You fell into the mess. And what does the Bible say when you fall into the mess? Now you must work by the sweat of your brow to be okay. You know anything about that? All right, so let's talk about real spirituality, which is, why is it not okay in there if its natural state is okay? Just like you go to a doctor and say, my hand hurts. You don't say, it's supposed to. You don't. You say, my hand hurts, what's wrong? Help me fix it. That's what you should be saying in here. I'm not okay. Why? Not what do I need to do to be okay? That's compensating. And that's all your mind is doing. That's all everyone's life is doing. That's why there's so much struggle. Why? No one agrees what's supposed to happen out there. You believe in this, he believes in that. And so we'll fight with each other. Don't worry, you will. Because you're not okay, and you think the way to be okay is to get what you want. Getting what you want is so overrated, it's ridiculous. I'll repeat that. Getting what you want is so overrated. You're wasting your time. When was the last time you got what you wanted and you never wanted anything else? I'm asking you. Instantaneously, you want it to be different. Oh, he said he loved me. When do we get married? Oh, we got married. When can I have a child? Wake up. Getting what you want is overrated. The question is, why do you need it? Why are you not whole and complete within yourself? Then go share that, by all means. The Bible says you don't light a lantern and hide it under a bed. You put it on the windowsill. In other words, bring light into this world because you're filled with light, not because you take light and light your candle and hope it stays lit. So you start to question, why am I not okay? And right away your mind will say, because you're not married, your mind will say, because you don't get along with your husband or wife. That's not why you're not okay. You were not okay to start with. You went out, tried to get married so you'd be okay, tried to have another child, tried to get letters after your name so everybody respects you. You tried to do things to make you be okay. Now they're not working, and so you say, that's why I'm not okay. Well, it's like this. Go eat junk. Go on, eat some junk. Twinkies and Coca-Cola. Just eat some stuff makes your stomach sick. But you're very good because you have Pepto-Bismol in the house. You know what to do when your stomach hurts. So you're running around. In the meantime, you can't find the Pepto-Bismol. Your friend comes in, you're frantically running around, and he asks you, what's wrong? And you say, I can't find the Pepto-Bismol. That is not what's wrong. What's wrong is your stomach hurts. That's what's wrong. Not I can't find the Pepto-Bismol. But that's how our mind thinks. I can't get what compensates for the fact that I'm not okay. That's not what's wrong. What's wrong is that you're not okay. So what's wrong is they've been eating Twinkies and drinking Coca-Cola. That's an analogy I want you to think of. Oh, from now I'm going to say Pepto-Bismol. You know what I mean? You're doing something wrong inside, but you're trying to compensate outside. So you finally get right down to it. Why am I not okay inside? And I don't want the word okay. That's not good enough for me. Why am I not filled with love? The most love you've ever felt. That first kiss, that moment, just rushing up inside of you. You can't even keep your eyes open. That's where I want you. I like you. That's where I want you. All the time. How much excitement, joy, enthusiasm you felt for something once. Multiply times 1,000,000 and keep it inside. That's who you are. That is your natural state. So there we go. Why am I not experiencing that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Why am I not experiencing that? What a wonderful question to ask. The answer is actually very, very simple. So take a breath. We'll do it. We'll do the deep stuff here, right? Have you ever had an experience at any time in your life that when it came in was not comfortable? Oh, really? Okay, we must be talking to the right crowd, all right? So you've had experiences. They come in. They're not comfortable. What did you do with those experiences when they came in? I dare you to think about it. You said, no, I don't want to experience this. And you pushed it away. No, this doesn't feel good. Push it away. Not the outside. The outside already happened. You don't experience it inside unless it really happened outside. So it's already happened. You can't make that not have happened. But I don't have to fully experience it. I don't have to let it all the way in, back where I am in here. I can push it away, keep it at bay, keep it at a distance. Have you ever not kept something at bay? Have you ever turned the corner and seen a sunset that was so beautiful, it caught you by surprise, and you say, oh my God, it touched me to the depth of my being? Has anything in your entire life ever touched you to the depth of your being? I know it didn't last, and there aren't too many of them, but it has happened. What does that mean? It didn't get resisted. It came all the way in. There was nothing inside of me that tempered it, pushed it away, questioned it, anything. Sometimes in intimate moments, a kiss, hugging somebody, it comes in and you melt. Yes or no? Have you ever melted? Just completely melted, gone bye-bye. Ever gone bye-bye? Okay, so now I asked you, have you had experiences in your life that were not comfortable when they came in? And what did you do with them? I know what you did with them. I don't have to be psychic. You pushed them away. You didn't say, oh, it touched me to the depth of my being. This thing ain't coming in here. Not on my watch. Right or wrong. Okay. That is where spirituality touches psychology. Freud was right. That's called suppression, repression, resistance, denial. Give it whatever psychological name you want. It came in. How do you know? You know it came in. It came in and you push it away. One thing I want you to go study. I like Freud very much, all right? It's wonderful that he taught us this, right? I don't see that Freud ever said who suppresses. He said you suppress. And then he talked about the terrible things that happen when you suppress things. They come back up. They rot down there like a virus. Who's doing the suppressing? That's the world of spirituality. That's spirituality. You in there who didn't want to experience that and used your will to push it away. It became suppressed. Now we have the field of psychology. If you don't do that, they're out of business. If you don't eat Twinkies and Coca-Cola, then gastroenterologists are they're out of business. It's like you're doing something that creates a messed up psyche. What? I asked you, how did it get to be a mess in there? If you store every single thing that ever disturbed you inside of you, what's it going to be like inside? Disturbed. I swear to you, that's the only reason, I'm going to whisper, the only reason you're not feeling ecstasy is because you did this. You shoved energy that you couldn't handle when it came in on top of your energy flow. That's the essence of spirituality, the essence of yoga. And you do it not just with big things, traumatic things. You do it every single day of your life. It's too hot. The driver in front of me, they didn't use his blinker. Nice blinker, buddy. You're just pushing garbage down. And it's so funny. Why would you want to keep what doesn't feel good? But you do keep it, don't you? It comes back up, doesn't it? Does it come back up? Yeah, it does. And you have to keep working with it because you stored it. Get real quiet. Take a breath. What a silly thing to do. What a silly thing to do, to go to a restaurant and have food that made you sick and ask for a doggy bag and take it home and have a special room called the sick room. And every morning, go in and take a little spoonful to remember how sick it made you. Why would you do that? Why are you doing that? You were in a bad mood yesterday. You said something to me I didn't like. I thought you loved me. I can't believe you said that. I would never say something like that to you. Okay? Now, you don't like it? Let it go. No. Because I didn't like it, I'm going to store it. So I always remember how bad it felt, so I don't let you do it again. I'm speechless. Why would you do such a thing? I guarantee you, if you said something to me like that, the next time I see you, I'm not going to love you. Until you do what? Until you apologize. You didn't mean it. I want you to really apologize. Well, what does that mean, apologize? Now, what do you mean, I didn't believe you? It wasn't sincere enough. I want you to say something that neutralizes what I stored in here that makes me feel bad about you, and you better start talking. Or I'm going to keep this stored in here, and you'll be sorry. No, you'll be sorry. Now you understand why you don't feel love. You need things to happen out there to distract you from the mess you made inside yourself. This is a spiritual discussion, not all this other stuff about how, even though you're messed up, what can you do to not feel it? Well, where can you go when you travel? Even though you're messed up in there, what can I do to transcend, that's a very spiritual word, to transcend what? My mess. Isn't that what we're transcending? Okay? Well, spirituality, real spirituality says there's no reason for a mess to be in there. You did it. That's nice that you did it. Mommy didn't do it. You just store what mommy did. Your first boyfriend who dumped you for your best friend, no, they didn't do that. They did that, but it was over. When? When it happened. 30 years ago. Why is it still in there? Why every time you hear the guy's name do you get all upset? Why? Because he lived in Texas. You don't want to live in Texas. That was 30 years ago. Do you see what a mess you made in there? Did you make a mess in there? The event was not good. There's events. There things happen. Yes, they do. There's yin and yang and dark and light. All kinds of things happen in this world. And some of them happen in front of you. You don't care if they don't happen in front of you. That's fine. You don't care. All right? But if they happen in front of you and get in and they don't feel good, you stored them. I'm going to stress that point. You did it. Don't you dare blame anybody else. The event happened. It's over. All that junk you have in there Freud talked about, it's over. Your blankie, mommy, daddy, everything. The sister that they liked better than you, and all the garbage from your childhood. It's not happening anymore, folks. It happened years and years and years ago. It should have no influence on you ever again. It's over. Why are you doing that? Spiritual says you pushed it down there. Let it go. Can you? Yes, of course you can. Of course you can. There does not have to be anything in there. How do I know? Because when it comes back up, you push it back down. You know we don't talk about that around your father. He can't handle that. Great. Thanks, Dad. Good example you're setting. There should be nothing in there. How would you like if magically God came down, touched your head, and that stuff wasn't in there anymore? You really want to keep that stuff in there? Wouldn't it be nice not having it in there? Okay, I know he hurt you. I know you didn't feel good about it. But wouldn't it be nice to be over? It's over, fine. He hurt me 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Wouldn't it be nice to not have that stuff in there? What would it be like? You would interact with the moment, with the presence of your being, with love, with inspiration, with excitement. Every single moment, everything. Well, what if things happen that are uncomfortable? Of course things happen. There's yin and there's yang. Things happen. People are born and people die. Good thing. We'd be very crowded. Well, how can I be in ecstasy if I love somebody, I'm sharing the love, and they die? Because you can enjoy the experience of the pain of death. You can look at every single experience in your life and say, wow, this is so real. I must have loved this person. So look at my heart. It's in so much sorrow and pain and loss. It must have really loved this person so much. And there's going to be this period of adjustment where the energy has to rearrange because it can't go out and tie like it used to. It's perfectly normal. Your energy used to tie together with that other person. Now they're not there. So it's going to go through adjustment. Can you be amazed by the process? In essence, you ready? I told you your body has a thing called an immune system. When it's doing its thing, you might get a fever. You might feel some pain. It's going through healing. When somebody dies or leaves you, or whatever it is, the heart can't tie in. The Shakti can't tie together the way it used to. It has to go through healing. It has to readjust just like your immune system does. Guess what? You don't have to make it do it. It does it by itself, doesn't it? You just don't want it to do it. And so you suppress that. Wonderful. So it's not that you feel joy because somebody died. It's that you remain open to the experience, just like you did to the sunset. In other words, when he died, I felt so much loss. It touched me to the depth of my being. You let it in. You didn't say, no, I can't handle that. Look at me. I'm talking a very sensitive subject, aren't I? People sometimes say, Mickey, you always talk about the weather and letting go of the driver in front of you. Why don't you talk about the real stuff? Okay, I'm talking about the real stuff. It's energy that's coming in, trying to pass through you so you can have that experience. Do you know that if you have an experience that you got married and it didn't work out and you got divorced, and someone else had an experience, they got married and it worked out perfectly fine until they died, both are wonderful. You can't have every experience, but for God's sakes, please have the ones that are given to you. Have the experience. That's what it means to be open, isn't it? That's what it means to be spiritual. That's what it means to remain in a seat of complete well-being while you are going through the learning process of learning to be okay, learning to heal, learning to enjoy, accept, surrender. That's so beautiful. That's Christ on the cross. He said, may I pass this cup? People say, why did he say that? Because there was a human aspect of his being, and who wants to go through that? Nobody. And he saw it, and he said, may I pass the cup? The moment he said, may I pass the cup, what did he say? No, I'm sorry, not my will, but thy will. In other words, I will accept and let pass through even that terrible thing. I will let that pass through, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. That's spirituality. That's you. You're capable of it. Don't you dare think you're not. So your body's capable of being healthy, pretty much. You can go to a doctor, you can do some stuff, eat better, you can do things. You can be healthy inside, and healthy inside is filled with ecstasy. You know what in yoga we call your inner being, your inner state? Satchidananda. That's what the yogis found when they went inside. Eternal conscious ecstasy. But they had to transcend the garbage. And so you get to the point where you realize, I did this. I don't have to feel guilty. That's just another trip. I did this. I stored this stuff in here. I'm doing it every day. Somebody doesn't say hello to me. Hi, Sally. Sally keeps walking. Oh my God, you can't handle that, can you? The mind goes crazy. You don't want to see Sally next time. Whatever it is. You can't handle reality. You can't handle reality. Reality unfolds. Some of you can handle, right? But you start storing this garbage. That is what's blocking your Shakti. I promise you, I assure you, there is nothing in there blocking your Shakti except what you stored in there. Under classical Freudian therapy and psychology, they have this thing where you talk about it, you go fishing to find what's down there. That's all they're doing, trying to find out what you store down there. You store it so far down, you don't even remember that you stored it. In fact, you're not going to let anybody know you stored it. You just push it way down there. What happens if they find it, it comes back up, and all of a sudden, you see it, you go crying, go through all the pain, and you release it. You can't sleep for 3 days because you're so filled with energy. They will tell you that. You'll be so filled with energy. It released, what did it do? It released the energy you stored down there, and it released the energy that was keeping it down there. It's a double whammy. You stored the energy of the natural event because you couldn't handle it, and now you're pushing it down, so you're wasting your energy fighting the energy you stored. That's why suppression is so bad. Well, then don't do it. Don't eat Twinkies and drink Coke. Not because I told you not to, because you're a smart person. So you start realizing that is what spirituality is. Learning to not do that anymore. No more. Don't store more down there. Learning not to store more down there, and learning to let go of what you stored down there. That's called purification. Purification doesn't mean you eat properly and you wear white and you never swear. That's not what purification is. Purification is you don't have that stuff in there. And when you don't have the stuff in there, I guarantee you what's in there is Shakti. What's in there is beautiful, uprushing energy feeding you all the time. And when you start to, and most of you have experienced some Shakti flow, when you start experiencing it, you'll notice that the moment something happens you don't like, it stops. Until you decide, okay, I can handle this. I don't want to store more stuff. And then the energy comes right back. That's why positive thinking works. Instead of getting into, I can't handle this, you say, I can handle this, you stop pushing it down. This act of pushing it down, no, it's a no, 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 no. I love you. I don't want you living like that. Spirituality is cleansing, it's purification. And it's not going to happen until you realize that you're doing it. You made yourself sick. You're making yourself sick by keeping that stuff in there. You have to know that it's ugly in there. You shoved it. What happens if a child is misbehaving and you're the worst parent that ever walked the face of the earth and you shove him in a closet every time he misbehaves, in a dark closet, just shove him in the closet, leave him there for a while. Okay? What's that kid going to be like? A mess. That's what you did. You took a part of your being and you shoved it into a dark closet, and it's not allowed to come back up, is it? Wake up. Spirituality is about saying, no more. I'm awake. Am I there? Don't you ever... Spiritual ego is the worst in the entire world. Spiritual ego is basically saying, I'm all messed up, but I won't present myself that way. And I'll think of myself as a spiritual person, and I want people to think of me as a spiritual person. No, no, no. Get rid of that stuff, and you can really be real. So now we understand why you're not feeling Satchidananda, which is your birthright. It is who you are, period. Well, how do I let go of this stuff? I teach the same thing. You're not going to get rid of what mommy did just because we had this talk. It'd be inspiring. I'd love you to do it. It helps, but it's not going to go away. It's deep. That stuff's scary, way down there. You have to learn to not store stuff. You learn to let go. That's all my teachings, let go. Acceptance, surrender, letting go, they're all the same thing. They're basically saying a universe unfolds outside. It does. There's nothing you can do about it. It unfolds outside. It's reality. Reality happens. Every single moment of your life, there's a reality happening in front of you in there. Can you accept it? Can you surrender to it, meaning let it come all the way in? Surrender doesn't mean you don't do anything. No, people misunderstand. Surrender doesn't mean you don't do anything. First you experience it, then you see if there's something for you to do. Not, I can't handle it, and wait till you see what I do. You're not surrendering activity, action. Life's an interactive sport. You're surrendering the fact that you're resisting. That's all that you're surrendering. You're surrendering the inner resistance. How? You start with the little stuff. You start practicing letting go. Just like you practice the piano, you practice a sport. You practice the act of letting go. How? With simple little things. Simple little things. It's hot out. There I am again, taking the simple things. That's why. It's hot out. How many of you complain about the heat? Don't raise your hand. And what good does that do? Complaining about the heat? Absolutely nothing. What's the cost-benefit analysis? 100% cost, zero benefit. Oh, nice investment. No, it matters. I'm not kidding. This is where you work. So you look at it. You say, can I handle walking from the car, air-conditioned car to the air-conditioned house without complaining? I've never done it yet. I'll try. And you start practicing this act of letting go inside, of saying, okay, is it hot out? Yes. Is it coming in? Do I feel it as heat? Yes. Do I have to resist it? Do I have to get negative? Do I have to say I don't like it? I told you. I remember the moment of my life that I did this back in the 70s. Mickey's complaining. I didn't have air conditioning. The car wasn't air conditioned. The house wasn't air conditioned. I'm living out here in the middle of the woods or the field, and he's complaining. And so I said to him, why is it hot? Treat him respectfully. He's an intelligent being. Why is it hot? Because the sun. It's hot. Right? Well, how far away is the sun? 93 million miles. He knows that kind of thing. He likes it. 93 million miles. How far away is Miami? 360. If all of Miami caught fire, would you feel it up here? Not a chance. Not 1 degree would change. That thing's 93 million miles away. And you're complaining about the heat? Why don't you marvel? And by the way, is it the sun? Or is it a star? Whoa. You're so close to one that you feel its heat. Wow, it's pretty neat. Now every time I feel it, I just, wow, I'm next to a star. That's pretty freaking neat, right? And I always tell you, 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. Just please remember these numbers. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. You're this tiny little dot crossing a star, and you're complaining? Why are you not like, wow, this is unbelievable? Do you hear me? Can you do that? Do that. Now you're not complaining. Now it's not negative. All of a sudden it's a positive experience. Then you start thinking about a star that big. Well, how many are there? There's 300 billion in your galaxy of those things. And you start feeling the presence of God. You're getting closer to God. Right? And there's 2 trillion galaxies. You hear me? So basically, do you see what that will do to your life? All of a sudden, you feel the sun. You feel God. You feel you're placed in the universe. This little tiny dot. Oh my God. It's all unbelievable. Well, do that with the sun. Do that with the car in front of you. Don't get negative. Do that with the fact that you get every single light. I love that, right? Every single light on my way into town turns red as I approach it. All right? What's the probability? This is unbelievable. I must be really special. There's so many things you can do besides this natural expression of the garbage that's inside. Let me tell you something right now. If you're with the person you love more than anything in the whole world, and the first time they were ever in the car, and you're going somewhere, if you got every light, you'd love it. It means it lasts longer. You see what I'm saying? It's because you're expressing the garbage inside of you that you're making these things negative experiences. They're not negative, they're experiences. And so you just finally use your mind for something great. Instead of for your mind telling you what needs to happen for me to be okay, let your mind tell you why you are okay. Ultimately, I want you to pay attention to this, because I try to get it across to you, and I don't think I do. Do you understand that at any given moment, what you are experiencing, no one else is experiencing? You're looking at me at a different angle. The light is different. She's not seeing what you're seeing. Not exactly, is she? You're the only one experiencing the moment you're experiencing. You're the only one that ever did or ever will. That moment will never happen again, and it never happened before. That's pretty special. You're getting a private showing of creation. God must love you. That's how special you are. Can you imagine that? You are so special that the universe made a moment that only you experience. And that's true of every moment as you go through your life. No one has ever seen the moments you've seen as you go through your life. Wow. wow. If you start thinking like that, working with yourself like that, letting go, being willing to experience reality, you're practicing how to handle things. Like your scales on a piano. Well, fine. Then something's going to happen. Sally won't say hello. And you're going to look at it and say, I don't want to give up the joy I'm feeling to worry about why Sally didn't say hello. There's 8.3 billion people on the planet Earth. They didn't say hello either. You're making a mess of yourself. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. No one else cared that Sally didn't say hello. They're all walking through the plaza together. They didn't even notice. But you did. Why? It doesn't matter. Learn to let go. Learn to relax and let go. And as you do this, you're going to find out you're happier. Of course you're happier. You didn't let the fact that the sun was hot, that the driver didn't use a blinker, or that Sally didn't say hello bring you down. You let go. You didn't, I'm going to make sure Sally doesn't ever not say hello. I'll let her get a piece of my mind. I won't drive on this road ever again. The drivers don't know how to drive on this road. There's too many red lights on this road. I want to find out. You're trying to avoid what you're making yourself not okay about. How about just not making yourself not okay about it? Buddhists say work at the root. The root is not that the lights are turning red. The root is you can't handle it, the lights are turning red. It's better to work on being able to handle it than trying to manipulate the world so it doesn't do what you can't handle. Here, I'm going to repeat that one. Better to work on being able to handle life than trying to manipulate life so it doesn't be the way you can't handle. Once you fix yourself, it's all fixed. There's a line in Be Here Now. I remember it clearly. The Ramana said that when they were teaching him, when he first went to the ashram, somebody stuck their head in and said, when you wear shoe leather, the whole earth is covered with leather. Then they close the door. That's his teaching for the day, or the week. Is it not true? When you wear shoe leather, the whole earth is covered with leather. When you create problems inside of yourself, the whole world's a problem. When you can't handle that Sally didn't say hello, it's a problem that Sally didn't say hello. Take off the shoe leather. All of a sudden the whole earth's not covered with leather. I don't have to go out there and make it not be covered with leather. That's what it's teaching you. So you are a great being, and you're filled with love, and you're filled with joy, and you're filled with total self-fulfillment, which you then get to share. You don't not share it. You share it once you're feeling it. Okay? And the only reason you don't feel it, don't you dare think anything else, the only reason you don't feel it is because you stuffed this stuff in there. So what happens is you start to handle the sunlight, you start to handle the driver, you start to handle Sally, and all of a sudden, and I'm warning you, by the way, this is, skull and crossbone, this is the warning, when you can start handling the daily stuff, that's what I want you to do. Just don't worry about the big stuff. Just your daily stuff. Wake up in the morning, I'm going to handle today. I don't care about the past. I'm going to handle today. I'm not going to shove any more down there. Oh boy, it's a sport. It's called the don't shove down there sport. All right? It's better than a touchdown. It really is. And you just practice. You practice all day. And you practice. You do your best. You won't do perfect. You do your best. Let go. It's a sport. You're getting better. Then what's going to happen when you get pretty good at it, and you're not shoving more stuff down there, the old stuff's going to start coming up by itself. Why? Because it's a LIFO stack. Last in, first out. That which you shove down today is what you're going to think about tonight, what you're going to think about and tell people about. And you stop shoving down there, all of a sudden the old stuff starts coming up. All by itself. You don't have to do no therapist. It's free. See, you save a lot of money. It comes up. Now what are you going to do? You're going to find out that you can handle it. You're going to find out that nothing will come up that you aren't capable of handling. You won't think you're capable of handling it, but you'll never be challenged. The universe is perfect. You shove that down there, it's going to come up. And what do? The same thing you did with the sunlight, the same thing you did with the driver, the same thing you did with Sally not saying hello. It starts to pull you down. It's hard. You don't like that stuff. Doesn't it pull you down? It starts to pull you down. You say, no, I don't think so. I am not going to give up this joy for that. And you start welcoming it up. Ultimately, you welcome it up. You don't tolerate it. I'll let it go. I can let it go. No, that's okay, but you're still keeping it at bay. Do the best you can. I'm telling you, you will reach a point where it gets so high in there that you don't want to go down. And you like the fact that it's coming up. Why? Because every time it came up before, it was higher underneath. Of course it's higher underneath. That's what was blocking your Shakti. And you start welcoming it. You start looking at it. You apologize to it for having shoved it down there. It's not its fault. It was an event that happened in the universe. And you went and shoved it down there like the kid in the closet for all these years. So when it starts to come up, you be compassionate and patient. And you look at it. Literally, you apologize. I'm so sorry. Come on up. Come into the light. You're welcome up here. I know it's going to be difficult, because I stored with pain, it's coming back with pain. But I'd rather feel the pain than keep it down there. Ever thought about apologizing? That's all your stuff. Because you did it. Do you see now that you did it? Do you understand real spirituality now? That's spirituality. Cleansing. Your meditations will become spontaneous. You'll be sitting there watching TV. It'll entertain your mind a little bit. And next thing you know, all the Shakti's pouring up inside of you. I want to tell you, you're driving your car, and it's so beautiful. You better have one of the auto-driving things. You just need some help because you're being in ecstasy. You feel joy. Well, people ask me, can I go to work if I'm feeling all this joy? You can't keep yourself from work. It's passionate. You feel inspired. You can't wait to get there. Now do you understand spirituality? This talk was about understanding real spirituality. It's not about getting what you want, is it? It's about being so filled with ecstasy and love that there are no wants. You don't suppress your desires. You don't deny your desires. It's not renunciation. It's purification. It's ecstasy. There are no desires. You're already totally filled. Now go share that. Share that. All right. Thank you for listening. Jack Redefining.